Every major city has an archive, a quiet vault where old newspapers, handwritten letters, and antique maps are carefully preserved. By definition, a physical archive is a place where everything inside belongs strictly to the past. This diagram demonstrates the fundamental rule of causality in human record-keeping. First, a definitive event happens in the real world. Only after that can someone write it down and create a physical record. The arrow of time dictates that the action must precede the documentation. But in one specific city library, the official blueprints end at aisle G12. Every digital inventory scan jumps straight to G14. Yet once every few years, an archivist working late after the building is completely empty reports finding an extra aisle, shelf G13. The existence of an off-grid archive shelf challenges the core assumption that time only flows in one direction, because what sits on this shelf hasn't actually happened yet. Senior archivist Emma Lawson dealt in hard logic and organization. She dismissed the stories as staff exhaustion, so she stayed late to investigate the rumors herself and put the matter to rest. At exactly 9:41 p.m., the overhead library lights flickered once. The rows of heavy wooden books slowly shifted. The shelves silently rolled apart, revealing a narrow aisle in the middle of the stacks. Curious, hushed tone. Every book on the shelf was identical. They had flat gray covers, missing any titles or author names. The only marking was a date printed on the spine, October 19th, 2034. None of the dates belonged to the past. Every single volume belonged to the future. Emma had uncovered a vacuum where tomorrow's history was being systematically collected. Emma pulled down the nearest volume to see exactly what kind of history was being recorded. Opening the book dated 2034, the pages inside contained no vague prophecies about world events. They were filled with microscopic, hyper-detailed memories. A specific childhood summer, a nervous first job interview, a wedding day. Every paragraph read as though the book had lived an entire human life. This diagram illustrates what physicists call a predestination paradox. An end-of-life data point feeds backward directly into an archive data point in the past. Having that future information present in the past forces the future to unfold as written. The memory ended with one definitive sentence, archived at 9:41 p.m. That unalterable timestamp locks the record in place. Each book functions as a completed life cycle, existing as a record of a human history before it has even begun. The reality of the situation set in when another book caught her attention. The date printed on the spine was tomorrow. With her hands shaking, she opened it. The first page described exactly what she had done that morning. As she turned to the second page, she read a word-for-word account of herself discovering shelf G13 in real time. Terrified and desperate to assert her own free will, she slammed the book shut. She knocked dozens of volumes from the shelves, sending thousands of pages crashing to the floor in a chaotic mess. But the silence quickly became unbearable. Then, without anyone touching them, every single book slowly slid back into place. They defied gravity, reversing their fall and snapping perfectly back onto the shelves. The library speakers crackled to life. A calm, automated voice announced, "New memory available." When Emma ran to the front entrance, the doors wouldn't open. The security system displayed an impossible temporal mock, "Exit available tomorrow." The archive is a self-correcting mechanism. Emma's attempt to rebel was futile, because free will is an illusion when the future forcefully enforces its own design. When the morning staff finally arrived, they found Emma asleep at her desk. There were no unusual records. Shelf G13 and its gray books had completely vanished. Emma walked out the front doors, assuming she had successfully survived. She kept quiet, returned to her life, and believed her silence meant she had broken the timeline and escaped the system. 5 years passed. The city modernized the entire facility, digitizing millions of physical books and scanning them into a massive AI archive. During the final verification, the software flagged one additional file that had never been uploaded. The directory read 48137.mem. The author was listed as Emma Lawson, and the creation date was listed as next Tuesday. Emma walked away from the shelves, but her history remained within the system's reach. The sequence of events was already recorded, waiting for the infrastructure to catch up. The AI classified the entry as a personal diary. The file contained only one chilling sentence: "Thank you for returning your memories." The archival process simply transitioned into a new medium. The digital file bridged the gap between the gray books and the city's database, ensuring the collection remained synchronized with the timeline. Shelf G-13 remains waiting for its next entry. For anyone who finds themselves in the archive after hours, the record of their tomorrow has already been filed away.